Hello there and welcome to another Brightflow Data to Dashboard presentation. My name is Paul Clark and I work at Bright Systems, and here's a quick rundown of what we're going to be covering today. We're going to replicate some data from an MS SQL database using Brightflow Ingest. We're going to replicate it up to Redshift and S3 at the same time. This can be useful when you have multiple use cases for your data. For example, Redshift could be used for the business intelligence department and S3 can be used for machine learning, AI and data science. Okay, so what is Brightflow Ingest? Well, it's a near real-time mechanism for replicating source data into Amazon S3 or Redshift. We can source from MS SQL, Oracle, SAP or Salesforce. It's inexpensive, codeless, it has zero impact on source systems as it works off the change logs. The data is untransformed, basically it's a complete replica of source, and it also has point-in-time information which allows you to do point-in-time analytics. Okay, we have an MS SQL Server instance called SQL Express running a few databases. We're interested in Bright MS SQL 2 and specifically Paul's Music. So if we have a quick look at the data, we can see we've got sort of nearly 20,000 rows. We can do a search on a specific musical artist, Paul Weller, and we can see the kind of data we've got. We've got the artist, the album, the track, the title, the year, the length, the size. We can review the data based on artists who have more than 10 albums, and there's quite a diverse selection showing my good and not so good musical taste. And then we can also review it at the track level where an artist has more than 100 tracks. And again we can see a very similar mix of credible and not so credible music. Okay, we're now in the Brightflow Ingest primary console. This page here gives you an update of all of the ingestion to date, but as we're running a demo there's nothing happened, so there's not really a whole lot to see. If we move into the Connections tab, we can see our source database information. Our destination database is Redshift. Our destination file system is S3, so I'm going to be dumping to a folder called Paul Music Demo. We select our data here, so DBO, Paul's Music. Click on that. We then want the primary key with history, and then we select the primary key, which in this case happens to be full path. We then very simply click apply. We ask for a full extract, then as per the instruction we go to schedule, sync new tables, and Ingest will start running and extracting the data to S3 and Redshift simultaneously. So the ingest process is now completed and we're in the S3 browser, so we can have a quick look at the data. The music demo folder has been created, and the data folder, there's our database name, schema and table name, and this is a timestamp of the last run, and here is our data. Go preview, just going to download that data so we can have a quick look at it. And there's our data. Okay, so we can see how our data is pipe delimited. And there's all the characteristics we saw earlier. The path, and then right at the end we have the start and the end time and the fact that V is an active row that allows us to do the point-in-time analytics. So for the data science, machine learning and AI part of the demonstration, I've written a very simple Python bit of code which uses Amazon's S3 select just to pull some data back. And here's the Python code and we run it. Takes a second or so, and there you go, we have all of our data coming back. For the business intelligence part, we're going to be looking at the data in SQL Workbench, and then we're going to build a very simple dashboard on top of the data in Redshift. So here's our connection. We're just going to connect normally. And then I've written the same statements that we ran in MS SQL, and we can execute those. We can see we have the same number of records. We can review the data by artist, album, track. We can look at the artists who have 10 albums, and we can look at the artists who have more than 100 tracks. Well, we're now in Tableau, and we've got the Amazon Redshift connection, the Pools Music table, and we have all of our artists, albums, tracks. We have the data for the point-in-time analytics at the end, and I've also created a calculated column, which is the first letter of the artist, which we'll be using in a while. So here's that first letter where we've got a bubble which just has the first letter, and then we've got an album count of artists who have an album count of bigger than or equal to 10. There's a list of all the albums for the artist. There's where the track count is bigger than 100, and here is the final dashboard. If we go into presentation mode, we can then play around with that a bit, and you can see how our data all appears. And that concludes the presentation for today. Really appreciate your time and attention during the demo, and if you'd like to know anything further, please feel free to get in touch with Bright. Okay, have a great day. See ya. Bye-bye.